Are you planning to study psychology in Malaysia, or are you halfway through your psychology degree and you are asking if it's worth your time, effort and money to study psychology here in Malaysia? Well, keep on watching to find out the answer. What is psychology all about? Psychology is a scientific study of the mind and also human behavior. Or to put it in simple words, you are studying human from the inside and outside. With that, you will be exposed to multiple psychological perspectives that allow you to have a more comprehensive view on human as a whole. Therefore, you will get to understand why humans behave in such a way under certain circumstances and what is going on in their mind, in their brain, and also what are the chemicals that led to that kind of behavior, and is there any relationship between their behavior and also their childhood experiences, etc, etc, and etc. So, by the end of your undergraduate study, you will have a really diverse understanding on human behavior and also human mind. With that, some of you might become more empathetic when you have already understand the factors that will influence human behavior. And for others, you might find a specific branch of psychology to be more interesting. But nonetheless, you're now more equipped in handling human beings, or at least understand human just a little bit more compared to your peers. With that, a psychology degree is really helpful in getting you a job that requires you to come in touch with another human. Starting from social worker, counselor, human resources, marketing, sales, consultant, entrepreneur, and the list could go on and on and on. The only exception is a job that requires specific qualification and certification, for example, accounting, finances, that might be out of the scope for psychology undergraduates. Yet, taking this job option off the list, there are still plenty of other career options for us to choose from. So, out of school does not necessarily mean out of job for many psychology undergraduates. Not only that, psychology is an interesting subject and course. You're literally studying about yourself and the people around you. Therefore, you might find all the information written in the textbook to be highly relevant. And to a certain extent, sometimes you might be questioning yourself if you are experiencing any mental illnesses, because you seem to be checking all the boxes for all kinds of illnesses that are mentioned in the textbook. But don't worry, studying psychology won't turn you into the patients of mental illness. This is just an usual phenomenon that is experienced by many psychology students, which is sometimes known as the psych student syndrome. Therefore, studying psychology might allow you to discover more about yourself and also the people around you in every single classes. However, as fun as this may sound, sometimes there's just too much information for us to process. So you really need to learn a way to organize different kind of informations before you get overwhelmed by the sheer amount of information that you have to learn within a short period of time. Aside from that, the demand for clinical psychologists here in Malaysia is really high. According to a journal article published at the International Conference on Psychology, Counseling and Education, they mentioned that the ratio of clinical psychologists here in Malaysia is 1 to 980,000. Yes, you heard me right. The ratio of one clinical psychologist is to 980,000 Malaysians. Not only that, the National Health and Morbidity Survey (NHMS) has also pointed out that 2.3% of Malaysian population aged 16 years old and above have experienced depressions before. Therefore, there is surely a high demand for psychologists here in our country. However, before you become a qualified psychologist, you will need to earn yourself a psychology degree. And once you're done with that, you are very ready to embark on a meaningful and also fulfilling career. All in all, is it worth it to spend a huge amount of money on obtaining a psychology degree here in Malaysia? Well, in my own personal opinion, I think the answer is yes. Psychology is a scientific study of human mind and also behavior. So it opens up to all sort of career path for all psychology graduates. Not only that, the content of psychology degree is very interesting and relevant to our daily lives. Not to mention, our country is having a high demand for psychologists. Therefore, if you are interested in pursuing a career in mental health, then a psychology degree is a good choice that you might want to consider. Thank you so much for watching till this far, and that's all I have for you guys today. If you like this video, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also share it out with your friend. And let's say if psychology is something that you are interested in, then do not forget to hit the subscribe button and also turn on the notification bell so that you wouldn't miss any of my future content. Till then, I'll be seeing you guys in my next video. Bye bye!